Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith. I've got another property for you. This one is just down the hill from Yosemite National Park. I think you could build a cabin here or build a house. You could probably rent it out part-time to people who are going to check out the park, because you could go up to the park in a day trip from here and back down to the house and enjoy a lot of the scenic Sierra mountains, the foothills of the Sierras. And let's take a look at this property and see if you like this one. So I'm going to RealVacantLand.com. We had a photo guy go out to this property. I just lowered the price. I'm asking $29,029,999. So just a hair under $30,000. So this is these pictures were in the late fall, so you get some colors in the trees. I'm sure they're a lot greener now, and it's come back to life. So here's Jordan Creek Road, the road that goes next to the property. This bush line up here is the boundary of the property, and it goes back. So there's a hill over here that's part of it, and this hill over here is part of it. So you get a 10-acre swash of land back in here. There's easements that run along here that go down to a driveway. So you'd extend a driveway from kind of over here, that's just off the picture, along the boundary of this into the property. Let's look at some more pictures of this one. So here's another shot. So here's the driveway. So here's the neighbor's driveway, and it's going along the boundaries of the property, and there's easements that go along this boundary to get to this property as well. So you go up the driveway and along this boundary, just extend out the driveway a little bit into this property. It looks like the Santa Luz National Forest Service has been clearing the land. They've been picking up the dead stuff, making these burn piles. That's what these black things are. They burn the extra brush from time to time. I talked to the county about burning brush on this property, and they said not this time of year. You got to wait till the winter, late winter, early spring when it's wetter. Then you can burn brush. You got to get a burning permit for this area. You need a burn permit before you can go clear brush and set it ablaze. So they don't want you doing fires. If you want to go camp on the property or something, they don't want you to have a fire there. You can see there's a bunch of houses in these hills. Different parts of the hills, looking out over the valleys, looking off in different directions. I bet you they got some good decks to go enjoy the scenery of the area. So here's some lot lines. Here's the neighboring house next door. You can see the driveway going along the lot lines here. And if you just extend that up a bit, you get to this property. Couple different shots. You got a bunch of different pictures and diagrams and things of the property. If you go to ruralvacantland.com, there's a link below in this video in the description. It'll take you back to the website. You can study these pictures a bit closer. So here's the neighboring house over here, and this hill up above it, behind it, is, I think that's where I'd want to build. You're close to the power poles. There's a power pole. You can string the power over pretty easily, and you get some of the best views. You build up the top of that hill, you get the best views of the area. See, other people in the area have built tops of the hills trying to get the views. So you could be up above this house looking out and over and around and stuff. If you wanted more room away from this house, you could build on this hill over here. I don't think you get as much of a view, but you get more peace and quiet. I don't know if these neighbors are loud or anything, but you get more room to yourself building over here away from the house. But you have to probably extend out the power line, put a couple power poles in between to get over there. And yeah, you'd have to figure out which way the driveway goes the best, because it comes along the property line and in. So if you cut over from here, you probably put a driveway in, go snake it up the hill or something. I'm sure a bunch of different people look at it and come up with a bunch of different solutions. So here's some more pictures of the property, looking at the trees and the angles. So here's the neighbor's driveway, looking at it from here. So this is, you could extend off, I think, this direction into the property. So this would be your property over here and here and here. So this would be one hill and another hill that you could build on. Okay, so here's a shot from above. So here's that neighbor again, and here's their power line coming up. It looks like it comes from over here and comes in, goes that way. I'm not sure. It might go a couple different ways. But there's a power pole right here at the corner with a transformer on it. So if you're within maybe 500 foot of that transformer, I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but probably like 500 foot, you could probably go from that transformer to a house, hook up without hooking up another transformer. Another might still need some poles in there, but you could drop connect. So I'd want to try to get the connection something less than 500 feet. Sometimes they'll do 1,000 foot, 800, 400. You got to talk to the power company. So the property would be down here, going up this way, this whole section, a lot of those woods. So here's just, we got different pictures of it. Feel free to go look at all these different pictures, pictures. So this is be the driveway again down here. You could extend that up along the side here, back into the property. You can see the power line coming and going past that house, coming from one way and going another way. I'm not sure which way it's coming and going from. So here's another shot looking at it, a little bit different light, some more angles. So here's the road over here again, and here's some more, it's down there. You go study all these pictures before you go drive over there and see what you're going to see. So you got pictures. We got some drone video of it too. I'm not sure if that's on the website, but I think if you ask, we could send it to you. I'll try to get it up on the website too. So here's shots of Jordan Creek Road. Just looks like basic kind of gravel road, but this would be your road for the last little bit of the drive as you drive into the property. So here, this is be the Santa Luz National Forest. You got Santa Luz National Forest on two sides of the property. You've got private property on two sides of the property. So I believe it's the north and south side are Santa Luz National Forest. East and west are your neighbors, and you've got easements going from this property out to the roads in a couple different on both sides of the property. So you have to build a driveway in there. So this is Santa Luz National Forest, and then the thicker woods forest up there that the National Forest hasn't cleared the brush on, that's the private property. It's your property. Buy it. It's your property. You can fence it or sign it or do whatever you want. So here's walking into the property. This is what the bush on the property is looking like. I think this is the driveway. Yeah, so I think this is the neighbor's driveway. This is the National Forest. Looks like they've chopped up a lot of this wood and spread it out. There's multiple shots. So here's I think we've gone back in a circle now. I think we have. So you have a lot of pictures of the road. Here's across the street, back in the area. Okay, I think we've looked at enough pictures. Let's move on. So I've got an interactive map of the property. And this is the lot line. So here's the road to the north is that Jordan Creek Road again. And here's Smith Gate or Smith, I forget what it is, Smith something road. And so down here you can see a break in the bush. South of it is the Santa Luz National Forest again. And they've done different forest managery stuff over time that looks, it's got different trees and bushes than this property. I think they cleaned it out and then smaller stuff started growing back in. So it looks even thicker than the original growth. But if we look at this side, there's a little driveway that comes in and goes up that way, not all the way there, but I think it's an old logging road. And talking to the National Forest, St. Louis National Forest, I mean, feel free to call them and talk to them about it, but they said you can drive these to get into the property from when I was calling them, talking to them. There and on the north too, you can just drive right up to it from their opinion, looking at it. The guy I had on the phone. And so here's the neighbor's route. This would be the legal route. You use the driveway coming up through here and then cut along the boundary over to the property. So as you turn into the property, then you could go manage your driveway up and go build up on top of this hill somewhere. I think it's actually might be more like here is the lot line. This box might be off just a little bit, might be more over here. Looks like there's a fence or a break in there you could probably go off of, but you probably want to get it surveyed to see exactly where it is before you build anyway. County will probably require you to do that before you build. It's part of your building requirements. So there's a buy it now button on there. I think it's just asking, $500 to do down payment. Say, hey, Luke, I want this one. Don't sell it to somebody else. And say, okay, we're going to pay for it. We're trying to make it happen. We're trying to, we'll go stick it into the title company. I've got title insurance on this. They can do some paperwork for us. We'll put them to work. And, you send them the money. I'll send them paperwork and they'll make it all happen. So we've got GPS coordinates in here that are the basic ideas of where the property is. They're not going to be super exacto, but they're really good to go shop the property. So the legal description of the property, you got elevations a little over 3,000 foot. So it's still in the foothills. It's not way up Yosemite elevation yet, but it's getting there. So Here's the Groveland gas station. It's not too far from there. There's a little shopping, cafes, restaurant stuff. I think the main thing about this map, or there's GPS coordinates on here. If we click on that, it'll open in our phone. It'll give us driving directions. But doing it in the computer, it opens Google Maps and shows where this property is located. So we could Google it and everything from there. But I wanted to do from here to Yosemite. There's a couple Yosemite. Let's try Yosemite Valley. See if it does a boomerang out to the middle of nowhere and back again, or if it goes straight up there. Yeah, so Yosemite Valley. So it's going up to Buck Meadows, and I think Groveland's where that gas station was. That's probably the closest gas station. But you might want to go get gas before you drive out here. But let's say you got gas. You go from the property up to the 120, and you do the 120 Buck Meadows. There's some nature stuff to see along the way. You know, weavy, windy little road. And partway there, I mean, you're going Yosemite National Park. This is a big oak entrance. You get in there and you're in the park. You got to pay the fee, or if you live in this area, you probably got like an annual pass. You get what's like $85, I think it is, for the annual pass. You get one of those, and you can drive in here and go spend all kinds of time taking pictures and hiking and spending time in one of America's most beautiful parks. So there's a campground as soon as you get in, but you got your own place. You don't have to stay there. So it's 43 miles to the valley, but you're going by a whole bunch of Yosemite stuff along the way. Tuolumne Grove Trailhead. So you're going to see a bunch of big, beautiful trees in there. And as you're coming up here, Devil's Dance Floor. Nice. I should spend more time in Yosemite, but Yosemite is just such a beautiful place to visit. I've driven through, I've spent some time there, but I've never really stayed and hiked in any major way that I should. Maybe the kids are not really big enough to do that yet, but pretty soon I would really love to get them up there and hiking around, exploring some of these crazy trails. So there's all kinds of pictures of this, but as you get into Yosemite Valley, here's El Capitan, this big chunk of rocks you can look up at as you're down these beautiful valleys. And you can see more Sentinel Dome, Taft Point, Eagle Peak, Yosemite Falls Trailhead. You get these spectacular waterfalls depending on how much water is going or not. And North Dome. I mean, you get in this valley and it's just these big rocks you're looking up to. And that's a huge part of it. And that's where all the people are too. That's the part I don't like about it. There's a whole lot of people, and you elbow to elbow with all these other people looking at the most famous parts of the park. But you know what Yosemite has is they've got a lot of nature that's not elbow to elbow with people. You get out there, you get on the back trails, you can hike for days and weeks and months. I mean, you could spend the whole season hiking and not really see people. There's some amazing trails on the backsides of Yosemite. And Yosemite is just a piece of the park. Like Yosemite goes, we were talking about Santa Luz National Forest. There's 7 or 8 national forest state park things connected that go through this mountain range that just goes from park to park to park to park, because it's up in the mountains and there's just not that many people there. It's beautiful and they're preserving it. And Yosemite just has one of the few roads that actually goes over the mountain, and then you get to Mammoth skiing and Mammoth Lakes and Mammoth, California in the background, right? Up and around. There's not many people on the backside, but there's some beautiful areas there too. So, and it's hard to get through these mountains, and this is one of the few passes, and it's only open for a small part of the year when the season's okay for it. But yeah, I should stop talking. You guys know more about Yosemite than I do. But so here's the 120. So this is the pass through. So the 120 comes through. You have to bend around to get into the valley, but the 120 is going north of it. And then it goes up here, and you've got Mono Lake. And where's Mammoth? Mammoth is south. Here's Mammoth Lakes, Mammoth Hot Springs and stuff. Yeah, so over the mountains, down, and just south a little bit. And then if you go north, you get some other small towns. You can see the Santa Luz National Forest. So this is the playground in your backyard. This is what you go do. You go take these little roads and you test all these little hiking trails. And you just go check it out. Go see what's there and go enjoy nature. You're going to have some amazing fresh air, some amazing views, a lot of animals and creatures and things to be looking at. And then when you're done and you're tired, you come back down and you go to the place that you just built on this property. And okay, so why this property compared to all the others in the area? Price. We're on ruralvacantland.com, home of easy, cheap land. I make it easy and cheap. So let's look at the competition. I'm pulling up Mariposa County. This is in Mariposa County. I pulled up Zillow. I got Realtor pulled up too. So, you know, what's frustrating me is I can't find my own listing on here. This property is supposed to be listed on here, and I couldn't find it. But so I'm giving the people that are doing the listings a kick in the butt. Go get it listed. But so here's Yosemite Valley. That's what we're just looking at. Here's the road that comes back. Here's Buck Meadows, and then there's a Smith something road goes down this way. And this is kind of the area, the Smith Station Road. Okay, so this bump, where is it? Smith. Okay, see this split off here, just barely into Mariposa County. Maybe we should be looking at properties on the other side of the county too to compare prices. But I didn't think of that before I started the video, and I got Mariposa pulled up. So Mariposa, Smith Station Road goes into Jordan Creek Road. Yeah, here's Jordan Creek Road. Yeah, here's the neighbor. So here's the neighboring house, and our land would be right here. So it goes from this boundary here. This is all national forest, all national forest. So it goes between this national forest and that national forest. You got some trees and you got some hills. You could build a house here. You could build a house here. There's power line right next door. There's easements going on this side, and there's easements going on that side. You could drive in from here, or you could drive in from here, and there's your property. Go build, have fun with it. So that's the property on this map. I'm keeping my cursor on it. If we zoom out, we're looking for what else is in the area. So down here, this is like there's a neighborhood. Don Pedro, stuff gets really cheap, and there's a ton of lots on the market, and there's rules and regulations, HOA fees and stuff. It's different than up here in the mountains. You got these guys are the closest ones to where we're talking about. Well, here's one for 90 grand. 90 grand for 12.55 acres. Okay, so they're 2.5 acres bigger than mine, but they're asking 90 grand, and I'm asking just under 30 grand. Let's call mine 30 grand. I'm asking 30 and they're asking 90. I think I got that one beat. So down here, these guys are all asking, here's the cheapest ones, they're 90. So let's take a look at these. 90 grand is 2.88 acres. I'm 4 times the size and I'm 1/3 the price. Here is 90 grand for 3.66 acres. I'm 3 times the size and 1/3 the price of that one. Then some 95s, and it looks like there's more people in that area. So there's just a lot higher prices. I got somebody at the door. I was going to show this on realtor.com too, but it's the same story. The market's like 90 grand, and I'm asking 30. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to leave it at that. This is Luke Smith. ruralvacantland.com. I got to answer the door. I'm going to cut this video off and talk to you guys in the next one.